Hello everybody, it's Kid Faulkner. Hey, I'm doing my 8th day in a row of doing videos. That's going to end soon. I'm going back to work Monday. But maybe I can get it all the way to 9 days in a row, which is unusual for me. Anyway, let's get into it. I got another knife video for you. This is a something in my collection that is a first. And it's pretty cool. Yeah, I always kind of like to keep reaching out for new things, and I guess this is still a lot more for me to experience in this knife collecting game. But yeah, each time I come across another little milestone, it's pretty cool. So anyway, I last year at Blade Show in Atlanta. Man, I went kind of crazy, and I've already done a video on that set of those bunch of knives that I brought back, and one of them that I brought back was a Vero engineering knife, and it was this one right here, and it is quite the fancy thing. I remember it was on my list of places I wanted to go and check out. Not necessarily for sure that I was going to buy it, but this one is the Axon, and it's the model that I was looking for. But I wasn't necessarily looking for that Damascus blade. He happened to have one there. It was like his last one, I think. It didn't have a case or anything, so this case didn't come with it. It didn't have a case, didn't have a card or anything like that. He gave me a sweet deal on it. I think I paid less than $300, like $280 for it. I think it's one of those ones that he kind of had left over and was looking to move it. Great knife. Always like it. It's got that classic Vero look to it. It's got that not a full slot all the way through, more of like a rectangular fuller there on the blade. It's a awesome looking Damascus. I don't know exactly whose Damascus this one is. I know it's not Damasteel. He mentioned that, but it is just beautiful, beautiful looking, and it's a liner lock. And I don't know that. I think some of the Axons are not liner locks. I seem to remember looking at them and thinking they were going to be a frame lock, but this one is a liner lock. But it's got a great handle on it. It says Vero on the end there. And so, anyway, this is just kind of a flashback from that last trip to Blade Show. This year, coming up to the time to go to Blade Show, I keep talking about how I was trying to save money, but I did get an opportunity to buy the knife that did come in this pouch. And there's quite a story behind it, and I love stories. I love the stories of knives. This one started out with Don over D&K Knives, and I only kind of pieced this together through watching videos from various other people that I like to watch, and I just recently saw a video where Don was showing this one, and I realized it's the one that I had actually picked up, and it had gone back and forth to Sawtooth Dave, and eventually ended up being given to Sawtooth Dave, and then Sawtooth Dave ended up giving it to Nick Edwards from Behind the Edge, and that's where I got it from. So it kind of went from one person to the next, all people I respect in the community. And the reason why this is new, something new in my collection, is not that it's a Vero, because obviously I picked up that Vero at Blade Show. Here's a little bit about this knife. This one did come with the card. This one's the Impulse, third generation. It's got M390 steel. Blade finished is DLC, but it looks a little different now. We'll see why. And then it says Stonewash. Uh, what happened was that I guess Don was getting some work done on knives by Satu Dave. He regrinds knives. Let's get it out of the bag. And he does work, and he doesn't ask for, at least up till now, he hasn't really asked for payment. He's actually kind of gotten to the point where he asks for them to pay for shipping, but he doesn't ask for payment. And Don, being the guy that he is, wanted to kind of do something. So I think there was 2 knives that Don sent over to Dave and said, "Hey, just take these knives, do what you want with them, and give them away, do whatever you want to do with them." And that's how it ended up over at Satu Dave. Now, Satu Dave has been doing some amazing regrinds. If you don't check out his channel, you're missing out on just the whole progression of him getting the equipment and figuring out how to use it. Now, he's a machinist, if you don't know him, so he does know how to work with equipment, blades. He's done a lot of things already, working with detents, taking apart knives, other types of little modifications. But now he's got a grinder, and he's doing regrinds on blades, and he's doing these sweet hollow grinds. As you will see here, a sweet hollow grind. Oh, got to get it to focus so you can see those lines. So, yeah, Dave's been, and I think the main reason why David doesn't ask people to pay is because he has been practicing, and people have been saying, "Hey, take this knife and do what you can with it." And he's been getting better and better as he goes. So this one turned out really awesome. This is not, some of the ones that he's working on have really thick blades, and so the regrind is more drastic, whereas this one is definitely more subtle if you look at it. But you feel it. You can put your fingers on it and you feel how thin it got, and it takes a steady hand. I mean, it's kind of, he's got some tooling that he's using, but he has to do some of this stuff by hand. And yeah, this is really cool to actually, because I've seen him do so many regrinds on blades, and for me to actually end up with this one just by opportunity, like so many, there's quite a few knives in my collection were because of that. I just got that opportunity to get one of these knives that I wouldn't have otherwise had a chance to get, and since I had that opportunity, I ended up jumping on it. And this, like I said, I was kind of like trying to save money for Blade Show, but I just couldn't resist. Now, this does have that cool Mokutai clip and backspacer. Looks really nice. I don't know if we can see it on the inside here. It's pretty dark in there. But yeah, very cool. Little flavor to it. So now I have 2 Viros, and they both have some fanciness to them. But like I said, this is DLC coated, but Dave obviously took that coating off before he did the regrind. So yeah, it looks really cool. I love the pattern here. Speaking of machining, that pattern in the scales is so cool. Got them on both sides. Obviously, this one is a frame lock. And yes, it does have a bit of a commonality on the way the scales look. It's got that kind of angular thing where it's a flat chamfer, and then a flat side. So there's a signature there. You can kind of see it. Clips similar, obviously different shape due to the way that the blade is shaped. But then it just kind of bevels down here. It does have that little clip up with a flat here. That really works well in the pocket. It's got a steel liner lock. Dave, I think he tunes these things up. It's got great detent. he knows how to take apart a knife and even fix detents when they aren't that good on knives. But yeah, this one is sweet. It is really sweet. So you can do the flick, but it's pretty tough. You really got to put some force into it. But you got that like one-sided fuller slot thing that doesn't go all the way through. You can do that middle finger flick really nice. It's really feels great, very satisfying. So anyway, these two knives, and I didn't realize actually, because I do like bigger knives, and when I was looking at the Axon, I thought that was the largest one they had, Vero had. But you can see that this this Impulse is definitely longer. Let's check it out. We got I'm thinking at least, well, no, about 3.5 inch blade, and maybe the blades are about the same length. But it looks like the handle is the big difference. Down to about 3.25 here. Almost 3.5 when you get down to the end of the little sheep's foot there. This is obviously more of a drop foot. Actually, he calls it a tanto, I believe. It's more of a tanto shape because it does have that even though it's rounded here, it does have that tip right there. The handle on this is close to 5 inches, like 4 7/8, and this one's more 4.5. So yeah, it is a much bigger blade. I wonder about the. Yeah, it doesn't have, has a little extra room at the end of the tip there of the blade, but not much. So it's not real bad on the. Now this one, I guess because of the shape of it, that tip does go past this point, but not past the point here. So I guess that's why it can be a shorter handle. Anyhow, yeah, both of these are very cool blades. I was gonna measure some. I haven't actually done this, but it feels so thin. I'm just wondering on that hollow if I can tell how thin. Dave got it. So I'm zero it out. We are 0. We're in inches. All right, come on. There we go. So like behind the edge, if I can get it. I have a steady hand. It's tiny, 0.017. And then if I get like up into about this far into the hollow, it's still only about 0.05, about 5/500ths of an inch, 51 thousandths, 50 thousandths. So that is really, really thin. So this thing should slice really well. Let's see. Get a piece of the old paper. Got a little bit left over. I don't know if it. I think Nick, when he had this, he said he didn't actually sharpen it, and that it was actually just sharp just because of the blade geometry. So I might have to get out the sharpener on this one. But man, I'm sure that once this thing's sharpened up, stropped up, it'll really cut. Okay, guys. So wanted to show off this cool acquisition that I ended up getting into my collection. I haven't actually had any of my knives modded myself. I've seen a lot of other people send out for mods and things like that. It's just not a step that I've done as of yet. I'm thinking that I will eventually, but just hasn't happened at this point. But I do have a knife that has been modded, so that's kind of a step in that direction. So there you go. Those are the two Vero engineering knives, the Axon and the Impulse in my collection. And hope you liked the video. Keep an eye out coming up for the Faulkner 5. I still got one more quiet carry to show you coming from D&K Knives from Don. And so yeah, still more excitement to go. They'll slow down next week, but I'll still be coming out with some good stuff. So you guys have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.